but it gave me an opportunity to put those aside and then refocus and find new direction for myself.
Okay. Thank you. Just to pick up from there, I would like to ask, were there certain challenges you faced too? Or was all your
Like there are some courses we really want to do, but we don't have them all, so we make do with what we have. Like when I got there, SASA was one of the organization that brought in courses that we did. It helped me. It helped promote. It helped my learning process, and for others who could have wanted to do something else, but they were not able to because those things really were not there. So the governments, humanitarian organizations, and others could please put in more effort to ensure that everybody who is there, who found education as an escape means like myself, could do what they enjoy doing so that they could come out bigger and better. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Energy, I would want you to pick up from that. So, what were the challenges? You engaged for like 8 years. What were the challenges? If I can imagine it wasn't an easy journey. What were the challenges?
Well, as you just rightly said, that it was not an easy journey. Actually, it was not easy. The challenges facing most of the inmates studying in the correctional center are numerous. The challenges of course material, the National Open University is an online study educational system. So without the course material, you will not you will not come out with a good grade, because there is no how. If you don't read your course material to understand it very well, you will just be there. No matter how brilliant you are, you will not pass. So the course material is the most challenges we have there, and being studied throughout the night, the level of congestion in Nigeria Correctional Center. Some of us, we are traumatized. Like some of us, we are there. We don't go to court for so many years. Like as I just said, I was there for good 10 years without being arraigned in any court of competent jurisdiction. I was just there sleeping and waking up. Not there because I discovered that determination is the key to success. And with all this stress and pains I'm passing through, I still skate through. So there are a lot of challenges, especially some correctional center today. If not because, especially some of the correctional center, I appreciate the CEO of CESA who came to refurbish the library of all the prison in Lagos State. I think that is where some of us now started to discover that yes, we have now reached the peak of our risk, because before there was nothing like that before. But we thank God as days are getting break and all those things, everything now is getting in place. So I really appreciate the CEO of CESA who came to our aid, especially in the Ikoyi Correctional Center today. And I also appreciate the PRO. I cite him here just now, Mr. Oladokun. He has been wonderfully encouraging the inmate. I've encountered him so many times. The way he encourages us, I think I can say, in fact, he's my mentor among the correctional officers in the Ikoyi prison. Anytime he came, I will always tell him. I always tell him. Even sometimes we come with some ministry of the member of Ministry of Justice on play bargain and sensitization on play bargain of a thing. I will pick a mic and I will ask questions. You see. But today now, I thank God I can see him in the free world now. So I thank God. I really appreciate him for being there for me.
Thank you very much, sir. I still want to ask you a question. So you said you did criminology, and I'm thinking about it. My interaction with a lot of people, I hear criminology a lot. Do you think that where you was it limited the access to certain courses? Was that a challenge, or for you, did you want to do criminology?
Yeah, before when I heard that National Open University offer criminology and security study as a course, I was so happy, because I'm an asset protection expert before being incarcerated. I was a police officer, a good investigator, find myself in behind bar. I use that as an opportunity to study criminology and security study to at least. And when I was there, I see a lot of people just like what I passed through. As I told you, I was there for good 10 years without being arraigned in any court. I saw how many people were roaming around the prison, rolling the prison yard without you hear complaint, all those things. After doing my research and all those things, I discovered, I say, well, this is the course I would do, so that anytime I leave the prison, if there is anything I can do to at least, just like I tell you the story of Daniel Manville, that he was in prison, he studied law in prison, he came out, he's now soliciting for the inmate in the prison now. So that is what inspired me to study criminology and security study.
Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Adele, what would you say about this same question too? Do you think that there are limited access to the courses people can take while they're at the correctional center, or is because of their circumstances that they choose certain particular type of courses?
Well, Stephanie, thank you. To me, I think I don't think there is any mix of limited aspect to it, because it all depends on individual. Like me, I study peace study and conflict resolution, PCR. You know, National Open University makes all courses available. They made all courses available, and if you are, it's just for you to choose the one you want to go for. Though there are some course materials that are not really much available, but the truth is that there are still a lot of materials available, and we make use of what is available. So, like me, in peace study and conflict resolution, it's, in fact, I really enjoyed it. I don't think I have any difficulties in studying that course. Though there are some, you know, the only challenges I think we do have, I want to believe that all of us do have, is that, you know, particularly when we are preparing for our TMA, you know, you need to get back to the inner room. You need to get back to the cell and still study more. But because the place is congested, because the place is filled up, sometimes, you know, noise here and there, you get distracted. You cannot concentrate really in that manner. Until the next morning when you are being open up, then you can now move to the school, to the church, to see how you can study. So, to me, I think the courses are available there, and I don't think it's just determination. It's just determination. The moment you determine, like me, I understand that this is a phase of life. As a soldier, I'm a military personnel before the Northeast troubles, and getting there, seeing National Open University, I see it as fortunate for me. I'm so happy about it. That wow, thank God. As a soldier, I've tried many times to get enrolled into the system while I was serving a plateau state. But you know, today they posted you here, you cannot continue. But getting to Kirikiri maximum prison, and the place is made open for all. And the moment I apply, by God's grace, I already have my O level. I apply, and the management of National Open University, they are there, and it's not difficult for us to access. So I appreciate God, and I also want to thank the prison authority. In fact, Nigerian government authority. The truth is that they are doing well, because according to the story we heard before now, it is difficult. It is very, very difficult. According to the story we were told, but now at least we could go there. And I went there as an O level, and I came out. I came out when I was writing my 200 level exam, and I came out. I still have the grace to continue. So, like presently, I'm supposed to have put in for my master. You get, but you know, when you come out of prison at first, sometimes, you know, you need to find your balance. Yes. You need to find your balance. So I will also appeal to Nigerian government. I will appeal to the National Open University. I will appeal to all the NGOs to please, when somebody who is about to round up, somebody who is in a 300 level, you get 300 level, and he got his freedom, he should have the grace to continue. But what we are saying is that after you are out, you are not, you don't really have the power, and that person does not have anything to fall into when he went out, when he goes out. So I pray God will help us in Jesus' name.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Mr. John, for you, what were the challenges like? And I also want to ask you too. So for other people, because there are a lot of people that do not embrace education. I understand the challenge is different. You're going to court, you're thinking of your case, you're trying to find a lawyer. There's all that challenge going on, and somebody else decided, well, I want to go to school in the midst of this. What do you think was the major challenge that put people off from even embracing education while you were there? And for you, what were the challenges to studying? What were the challenges you encountered in studying?
Yeah, okay. The challenges I encountered, for me, number one, accessing gadgets. We use systems, for our TMAs. And we were fortunate enough to have someone that had a laptop. So we applied to the authorities. They allowed the laptops into the library, though it was monitored. They provided modem. So I appreciate the authorities for that, because they always supervise the former medium facility welfare in charge, Mr. Jimo. He helped to supervise to ensure we always meet up with our TMAs. At some point, there was a time I missed my TMA. All the way from Kirikiri medium prisons, they took me to Ikoyi to make up for the test. So I was just fortunate to get that, because I went there alone with the officer in charge. They took me. So because of the support, they supported us. And that was why they had to take only me to that place to make up for the test. And I made the exam. So the challenges we are facing, aside from gadgets, course materials. I had the opportunity to get course materials because I had a cousin who is studying the same course with me. A year, my senior from outside, so he brings in course materials for me. My own course is criminology, and if he brings the materials to me, after using it, I give it to my colleagues and other people. I donated my materials to the library. But then, some other people that had the mind to study, some courses, it's just because of the course material they could not go for what they wanted to study. Because if I had the opportunity, maybe I had funds to support, maybe send out for people to print for me and stuff like that. Some people don't have the opportunity. And that weighs them down, It wasn't encouraging for them to, want to come in. Because I've seen some people talk to me about Open University. They'll say they want to study a particular course. Yes, it's in the curriculum, but they cannot go for it because of lack of course materials. So, but then, we had to relate with some of the staffs, because some of the staffs too, they're students of Open Universities. So we talk to them, they talk to their colleagues at their study centers. So they bring in materials to help us in the facility. And that was what encouraged other people to enroll too.
Okay, thank you very much. Still staying on you. Did you think the course you did, your experience with education, did you think it prepared you for re-entry in any way?
Very well.
Okay.
Very well.
Please enlighten us a bit on that.
Okay, fine. Just like I said, I've had that passion, I want to say something. I only had O-level when I got to the prison. But coming out, I came out with a BSc. At least I have something to write in my CV. I have something to write in my CV. And to the glory of God, the job I'm having now, it's because of that. I studied criminology. I'm working as at a security firm as an operations manager. I got the experience from my job down to the prisons, and it has helped me, So for me, I feel when you embrace what you have in mind, no matter the situation, just put it in front and you achieve it.
Thank you very much. Mr. Suji, I know you mentioned earlier while we were talking that you acquired a number of certificates. I would like to know how many, though. A number of certificates. And how has this helped you? Did it actually help you in any way to prepare for your re-entry? Or you're just amassing the certificate? What was it for?
I so much appreciate these questions. Well, the most of the certificates that I acquired in the course of my incarceration at Ikoyi Correctional Service, precisely, they have really helped me. Because just as I told you then, prior to my coming to prison, I lost all my certificates. That means then that I lost all hope of adapting when I shall have gotten my freedom. And eventually I saw education there that I engaged. And I really much overwhelmingly appreciate the tremendous efforts of CELSA Foundation, who has made it a thing that has happened in my life, because I had to start from the genesis. I had to write to sit for WAEC, where I made 8 credits, English and Maths, all through. Then I also sat for JAMB, where I came out as the best at the correctional there with 286 marks, scores. So, during which after having me prepared by all this, then I now got admission to read primary education, where I am now a 100-level-year student of National Open University. So, for the 6 years spent in incarceration were all positively impactful for me. Because that which I hadn't gotten, I had lost as a result of ill fate. I was able to achieve all that while incarceration. Now, minding the challenges and all that, because when people are talking about challenges are everywhere. Challenges are everywhere, both in the free world and in prison. But it now boils down to the principal person of yourself, what you want for yourself. You understand what I mean? I haven't gotten all these things. In fact, they've been able to have given me a safe landing in the free world to reintegrate. You understand? You know, to be reabsorbed and to be re-engaged into the social systems. You understand what I mean? What would have been my fate if I hadn't gone for this? Coming out of prison with no credentials. It would have been mind-boggling. You understand? But by the provision of this, by Providence hands, anyways, I've been able to have, I said, I can go apply for social work, Presently, University of Ibadan, part-time, consultancy service just employed me as their English teacher. You understand me? It is as a result of this. And some of the other things that I was able to do then, because good at in one of my officers is there. You know, I got myself engaged because prison is the only place that you can think broadly. Because nothing bothers you apart of your freedom. You understand what I mean? The world has given up on you. So it's now for you to settle down and discover your potential, your latent potentials. So I did that. I went into reading, and by the victor of the instruments and the equipment and the instruments, educational resources provided by CELSA Foundation, I was able to come up with some books. I wrote The Vanity of Crime in Prison there, and then I wrote The Set Time, and also wrote The Court of Lilliput, The Court and Posh and Court. So they're all here, the plugs are here, and they're very, very interesting. That will say, even if I were not employed by any sector, I can get myself employed from the content debited in me by the Almighty. You understand? So that about that, the height which the men of great reached and kept, really not gotten by sudden flight. You understand what I mean? So challenges prepares you, builds you. Hardship, there's never a great man under confidence or luxury. So it is under hardship that you can discover yourself, so that you can have a story to tell to the world, and they will emulate you. That is that about that. So that's what I'm saying in essence.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
I'm still staying put for you. As a scholar who was able to bag 286, it might seem very easy for you to get into the National Open University. Do you think there are challenges for people that also went through the same hurdles, they did GC, but were not able to get that cut-off mark? Do you think there are challenges of forging for them in the correctional facility?
Forgery?
Yes, because we know now that it's just now that it's made available. Mm-hmm. So people that do not get up to the cut-off mark for now, do you think there are challenges for them, and do you think there are things that should be put in place to help these people?
Yes. Well, sometimes most of the scores, no matter how high they are, or you score them, the moment you are out of the prison yard and peradventure you don't have what it takes to get to get enrolled in your school of choice, you understand what I mean? It becomes more or less an irrelevant article. You understand what I mean? So most of there are other people, there were other people prior to now that even got higher than me, but they couldn't use it. My very self, my own now is just lying there. And there are other people there who are making exploits, but they can't make it because they have been held in that Pado's cave. You understand? So there's no way off. It's only to make sure that you are something. You have something to give to the society when you come outside. It's not, sometimes it may not all boil down to the jam. Jam is taken apart, but when you talk about the O-level certificate, the noun, you understand what I mean? They are all that very, very paramountly relevant in the use of one's academic lives. But when you talk of jam, it stays there unless you're being released prior to your getting admission. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so if I'm getting what you're saying, jam, of course, because it's yearly.
Yes.
After you do it once, if you're not out at that point, it's not useful to
but
you anymore.
Why participating in this, more or less my very self, is because of the great passion. You understand what I mean? The vehement passion that I have to, spread my tentacles across all layers of educations and all that, so that I'll be a person of value when I get out. You understand what I mean? Because no education is gainless or payless. So that's not about that.
But do you think that there should be other opportunities apart from now for other people? So if they don't get into now, they'll be able to get into other things. What do you think about that?
Pardon?
Do you think there should be other opportunities made available for other people that might not be able to get into now?
Yes.
Okay, what do you think? What's your take on that?
Now has been the monopolies of education at various Nigerian correctional services. And I give kudos to them. You understand what I mean? Or have other universities who are just frowning upon that. But because of, the love, because I can say that their love is more than the golden love. You understand what I mean? Because love is the greatest force in the entire universe. It is the heartbeat of the moral cosmos. He that loves is a participant in the being of God. So now is a participant in the being of God. By providing education, the other universities supposed to make the same movement, like a college of education, polytechnic, and all that. It should be of a monopolistic affair, chiefly for now. You understand what I mean? Maybe someone who doesn't have a passion for now can go for another list. It can be an alternative or optional choice.
Thank you very much,
You're
sir.
welcome.
Thank you very much. Coming back to you, Miss Emilia. So at the Female Correctional Center, what were the challenges really for women? What were the challenges? What do you think should be in place to actually make education more something like a comfort zone for them? Because I understand to a level that you're juggling, thinking of family life, now thinking of the women that have kids, especially outside, thinking of juggling family life, thinking of the court cases, thinking of when you'll be released, and then maybe there's a particular limitation to the extent you can further. That's because you're already narrowed to just one particular choice. What do you think should be put in place to actually make it a soft landing for these people?
To be truthful to you, education is a choice. Education is something you make up your mind you want to do. In the correctional center, I have to be truthful. Many things are put in place. It's just choice. It's just your choice. You want to do it. The facilities are in place, but we have reluctant people who, you understand, are not taking advantage of it. But despite that, there are some courses, like Mr. Suji said, there are some courses that are not in the Open University, and people who want to take such courses. So there are limitations, when it comes to courses people could take. That's one of the things. There should be, now should not be a monopoly in the correctional center, like he said. Other universities should be given opportunities where people can, I want to go to UNN, I want to go to UI, because there are some courses, that they want to do, which is not in the Open University. And then apart from the Open University, not everybody is interested in education, not everybody is interested in the open, educational center. So they will need other facilities, like those who are into technical basis. They will need a technical school. They will need people from that field, to come to the correctional center for them to be able to so do what they want to do, what they love to do. Like I said, not everybody is good in the educational sector. So we need those technical schools. We need the business schools to come in. I'd like my colleagues here, I heard majority of them, they read criminology. I want to see a doctor, for crying out loud. I want to see people, who are doing differently from what they have done. I know it's their passion, they love doing it, but there are so many people who want to do other things, but those options are not there. Yes. So there are some people who want to do certain things, but those options are not given to them right there at the moment.
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am.
All right.
Thank you. Mr. Enejo, so how do you think education can be made more accessible and inclusive for justice impacted individuals? What do you think we need to do or pay attention to?
Well, just like my learned colleague has said, let me imitate some like a lawyer here now. Just like my learned colleague here has said, I want to dear lawyers here that lawyers are not the only learned people. So, Mrs. Fumi, you see, to make education more accessible to the inmate in Nigeria, just like Mr. Osuji has said, for over 10 to 15 years now, we have never seen any other education institution in Nigeria, like other universities in Nigeria, working in collaboration with Nigerian Correctional Service, how to at least maybe like Polytechnic, like College of Education, so all those kind of things. If Nigeria want to make, if actually, as the name imply, that is now a correctional center, if they want to make everything correct, they should come up with a lot of ideas. We can't just rely on only National Open University. You see anybody coming out from prison who say, I attend National Open University. Is it only National Open University that is accredited to prison in Nigeria? I don't know. So I think to make education more accessible to the inmate, many universities need to work in collaboration with the prison. So that anybody can say, I graduated from a University of Lagos while I was in prison. I think anybody that had that also will be happy. Say, the University of Lagos in prison, in fact, I don't know. Because if actually the prison is for rehabilitation, reformation, and reintegration, then they need to come up at least. Let them work like other countries are doing. We can't we can't remain in just one position. We can't be static forever. Let us move forward. Let them bring idea. Let us work with other institutions so that the people in prison too, they will feel as if they are for them to be there is not just for punishment, but for just to rehabilitate them, just like the way they live outside there, for their life to change from prison. Just like as I'm saying now, not everybody in prison will come out to have access to people like this. So why? Not that they are not human beings, but because they are not accessible to education, then they will not be able to come out boldly to address some issues. So the challenges are many, numerous. Just like as I said, there are many to mention, but few. So I don't know who will take the messages to the government, to people on top. Let them work with other universities, other higher institutions to work with the prison also. Not just only National Open University. Many are in prison. They want to study. There are many there. If I talk to them, they will say National Open University, online university. So if just like Ikoyi Correctional Center now, for years, Ikoyi Correctional Center have been there for more than 50 years. But just recently, they just brought a National Open University Center to Ikoyi Correctional Center, which is very wrong. The reason why some of the inmates are not accessible to education is because from Ikoyi to Mazimo, If they look at what it takes for them to move from Ikoyi, maybe their comfort zone where they are managing their life a little, you move there again, come and enter vehicle and go to maximum prison, they will prefer remaining in Ikoyi prison, not to go there. But I thank the management of Ikoyi Correctional Center that at least they work around the clock to make sure the center is being brought to Ikoyi prison. So
thank you very much, sir. Yeah. Okay, final words, so we don't take too much time. Final words, what do you think should be in place? What should make it better for people that are still in the correctional facility?
Thank you, man. Like my colleague rightly said, we need to really know that these people are here to be corrected. Like the name implies, that correctional center. We need to the federal government need to pay more attention to correctional service area, to make sure that as you come there, before I go further, I want to appreciate one Mr. Agbola. I think he's a coordinator to National Open University. You see, that man, whenever he has contact with you, in fact, he was the first person that talked to me that, Oga, you are a soldier. They brought you here. Don't feel bitter. Think on what you can do to make yourself productive. You can see a National Open University, see this. That man keep encouraging me till I left that place. Now, I want to also tell you, like, we've been talking about university. How about the primary school aspect? How about the secondary school aspect? There are a lot of people in that place that does not have secondary school certificate. There are many of them that does not have primary school certificate. But I want to tell you, like me, I was at a maximum security prison. Now, I understand there are a lot of inmates that volunteer themselves to be teaching at primary school and secondary school level. You can see this book in my hand. This is the book I wrote the moment I came out of prison. And of a truth, I know how much this book has fetched me. This book is online, is on Amazon, is on Seller and all that. I know how much it has fetched me. You can imagine if I didn't pick up that courage, if I didn't determine to be productive, to push myself forward, I will come out, whatever the army does to me. Oh, the army, I went out to northeast to go and, to put in my best to make sure there is peace in Nigeria, and as a result of that, I was sent to prison. I will begin to live with that bitterness. But sincerely speaking, I am thanking God that it happens. Do you get? So please, the federal government need to do more. The NGOs need to do more. All the institutions, they should not leave it to National Open University alone. I am still appreciating National Open University till today, and I will continue to appreciate them. So let us make sure that, this secondary school level, this primary school level, I have a boy there, Ayobami. I met Ayobami at the prison 2016. He used to be the one wash my plate, to do some work for me. I left there 2019, and I can tell you, as I'm talking to you now, the boy of recent I visited, and he said he has not been going to court, and he's still there till today. In fact, the other day he was telling me he does not even know what is happening about him. You can imagine, I met him there 2000. This is a boy that maybe in the streets that they said Curtis of 18, the landlord of 18. And the landlord has forgotten about him. They don't remember anything about the case. And as I'm talking to you, Ayobami is still at Maximum Security Prison. He has read all the Bible back to back. So he kept, the last time I visited him, he said, it's like maybe this is his destination. I said, no. And I keep encouraging. So let us encourage the federal government to please shine more light to prison sector. Let there be, let's make education the real ladder to go out. And also, please, there are people who has their master. There are people who have their master in maximum security prison at Ikoyi Center as we speak now. Please, the justice system should also look at that direction. When you hold your master, I want to tell you, your thought is a different thing from when you get into the facility. Then this person studied BSc and still has his master in that place, and you still leave him there. I'm appealing to federal government to please look at that direction and see how they can consider them and show them mercy. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, our stakeholders on board. I believe you've learned from their experiences. And please, if you have questions, you can just write it down reach out to us. We'll take that question later. We'll go on with the sessions. Thank you very much. Thank you. Let's take a picture. Picture, please. Let's take a picture. Picture, please. Yes.
That was a very beautiful session. Please, can we give a befitting round of applause? I mean, I had to write a lot. I had to learn a lot from this experience. And I was really, if not for our time, I was really looking forward for we to ask them questions, because there's so much to learn from this special people. And I like the fact that one of this justice impacted person used the term that my learned colleagues. Can we give a round of applause for him, please? Can we give a round of applause for him? If there's one thing I saw in them is that there's passion, there is a drive for change, there's a shift in orientation. And I mean, as much as there are tiny sprinkles of discouragement, a lot of them know where they are going. A lot of them still have this glimmer of light around them for what holds after now. And please, can we just salute those officers who have been a very strong motivation to this justice impacted people. Please, a round of applause for them. Okay. Like the major charge that has been given by one of the speakers, one of the panelists, is that we need the federal government to pay attention to these prisoners. And I find it so interesting to see that how can people just be prosecuted? Because these days you find people who are just offended, and then just by their reason of influence, they can pick up anybody to be taken to the prison, right? And it's so strong. I mean, in this last 6 months, I'm actually a journalist, and I see stories like this. I mean, even my colleague, for a yet to be published story, is already been summoned to the prison, right? You can see stories like this, and if not because we have union of journalists sleep a lot in prison, right? But then how much more maybe any person in the community where anybody, how many much more stories that we don't know? These are the stories that we just know. But then you can see all of them having evidence that I've written this book. I mean, I've not written a book before. I've always wanted to write a book rather. But then these people have drive to ensure that this thing comes out, right? I like the fact that it's on Amazon. Please, let's celebrate them once again. Celebrate them once again. Celebrate them once again. And I got the quote from one of them that says, when you embrace what you have in mind, no matter the obstacles, you can achieve it. All right, and that to be reabsorbed and re-engaged into the system. That is his aim. That's why 286. I'm very sorry, but I did not have up to 286. That's a stellar determination. Let's give a round of applause for them again. So our federal government needs to be concerned, because you find those people who are impacted by the justice system. Maybe they don't have primary school. I don't know how old the person he mentioned. I don't know how old he is. I don't know if he has gone to secondary school or university. Yeah? Like 4 times. And he's making it. I mean, it's enough to be discouraged. But then we need the federal government to pay attention to many of these kind of cases, because almost those who prosecute them, they are forgotten. It's just like a vengeance. If you're already in the prison, locked up in the prison, it's like we've gotten our what we want and we forget about the case. Many cases that are in the court that are unattended to. So it's a concern. It's a very strong concern we need the federal government to pay attention to. And we believe by initiatives such as this, we believe we are registering our inputs in this history. So they all have a story to tell. Let's give a round of applause to them once again. So very quickly, we're expecting a panel session which is going to be promising. But right now, we want to have a presentation from the Global Freedom Scholars. This is the scholars from CELSA. And we want to have the presentation quickly. We need one of the scholars to please come forward. Give a round of applause as it comes forward, please. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. My name is Ahmed Adeshino. I actually spent 5 years in Ikoyi Correctional Center. Prior to my incarceration, I had my first degree in University of Ilorin. I studied history. As a result of this, I found myself in prison 2017 after my wedding, 7 months and 3 weeks. And I had my first daughter at the age of 42 years, at the age of 42 days, sorry. To cut it short, I was discharged and acquitted 2022, April 7. I met CELSA during my incarceration, and since then, we have been good together. So after my re-entry, I was absorbed to the organization due to my hard working and some other things, because whenever they brought some educational materials, I was in charge of the school. So as a result of that, I am presently the admin officer of CELSA. Thank you, CELSA. I have a poem. The reason why I actually wrote this poem is because of the passion I have for education. Yes, I taught a lot of students, or let me say scholars, while I was in incarceration, and many of them have been able to gain admission to National Open University right from the scratch. So my poem goes this way. Education, a transformative tool for individuals, society, a jewel. Instead of incarceration, let's provide education and skills training a chance to revive. Opportunities created through education, criminal activities curbed with dedication. The cause of incarceration also high. Education a better solution. Let's give it a try. Empowered with critical thinking skills, informed decisions, potential crime prevention trails, reintegration into society positively contributes. Community flourishing, negativity to dilute. Root causes of crime, poverty, inequality, lack of chance, education addressing them. A long-term solution in advance, education, always transformative, providing a brighter future, truly innovative. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Please give him a round of applause. Education, not incarceration, is a chance to revive. And education is the power to solution. Let's give it a try. Please give him a round of applause again. Thank you very much. We have another scholar to give a presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. I had already introduced myself. I'm presenting a poem that has its thematic focus or preoccupation on education, not incarceration. Education, not incarceration. This idea begins is a 5-stanza poem, so lyrical and so, elegic, but let's go on with it. Like a heaven sent light doting, like a heaven sent light doting windows of delight. So these 7 lights called education comes in sight, prevailing in that horrible pit. Education, education, why that comet with solution? Thou foot of mine, in my pleasant poisonous womb of incarceration, thy 6 are heard, but are dying. In pain, this earthquake of voices do ground and fade in pain. Lyrics of freedom are heard in a distant land of hope, descending with a million gleams like a glowing angel with a harp, crowned with crown of glamour, so she comes to feed barren prisoners with hope. And with her sword of pen, a siege with a wit before the weeks, come to free those held in Plato's cave of pens and papers. Those long unseen, nor hard, but sealed with chains of body, not mind. Behold, the day break as death blossom with bliss. My flock, here I am, education, the name I am called. Thy shepherd, thy savior from red. I tell thee, thou art now free from chain of brain and head. Darkness, ignorance disappears as light emerges to a herald. Hooray, education, and not incarceration. So that is my poem. God bless you so much.
Thank you, honorable scholar. And my brother's word, my learned colleague. Thank you. Let's give him a clap. All right. So just so this room will not be so cold, when we mention Celsa, you will say everyone deserves a second chance. Celsa. Do we still need another tea break? Celsa deserves a second chance. And truly, everyone really deserves a second chance. So very quickly, we're going to go to our panel session. And this is our second panel session. And we have guests already lined up for this session. It's going to be moderated by Chinenye Unzom. Sorry if I didn't pronounce that very well. Thank you. Apologies. So let's give her a round of applause as she's coming. Thank you.
You're welcome. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, everybody. All right, so my name is Chinenye Adeleye. I was Unzom. So I'm Chinenye Adeleye. You may be wondering, Adeleye how, Chinenye? I got married to a Yoruba man. For love. All right, it's so good to see everyone here, and I know we're going to have an amazing time. I had a great time listening to our learned colleagues. Please let's put our hands together for them once again. Okay, so when I say Celsa, what do you respond with? Okay, let's go. Celsa! All right, thank you very much. So, first of all, I want to say a very big thank you to CELSA, which is the Center for Legal Support and Inmate Rehabilitation. They are doing such an amazing job. Do you agree with me? Yes, because to be honest, I didn't know this kind of organization ever existed till Fumi reached out to me, and I had to go and do some research, and I'm like, wow, this kind of initiative exists. It's so amazing. Please put your hands together for CELSA. All right, so we'll be going quickly into the panel session, and I'll call them learned colleagues again. All right, so they said some very key in the Ministry of Justice, human rights activists, and some people from the NCOS, right? We're going to be speaking to them. We're going to be asking them questions. And this panel session we're not just going to be doing talk. It's going to be action-based. So we want to hear from them. How can we come together? The education system, the justice system, the prison system, how can all of us come together to ensure that people in the prisons are able to enjoy free education. Today we're celebrating Nelson Mandela Day. And one thing he said is that education is the most powerful weapon that can be used to change the world, right? And we're all big on nation building. We believe that it takes one person to, it has a ripple effect. By the time I educate somebody else, the person goes to educate their family, and we go out like that. You see that everyone has a part to play, right? So I'm going to be calling on our amazing panelists. When I call them, please put your hands together for them. It's not easy to be here. And they are big people. Please, we need to celebrate them. Right? We need to celebrate them so that when they are here, they will give us all their opinions, and all of us can live here with informed mindset, with a mindset that we can go out there to change the world, be it outside or inside them, wherever we find ourselves. So first of all, we're going to be doing ladies first. So I'm going to be calling up Dr. Modupe Adeshino. Thank you. Dr. Modupe Olakunle Adeshino serves as the National Coordinator for Special Study Centers at the National Open University of Nigeria now. With 13 years of experience in a tertiary education, she has specialized in educational technology, which is known as EdTech. All right. I don't like hearing my voice. All right. So for the past 12 years, Dr. Modupe has been deeply involved with education sector of the Nigerian Correctional Service, where she has held various roles, including liaison officer, desk officer for the correctional services in Noun, and national coordinator for correctional centers nationwide. Her dedication and expertise led to her appointment as a national coordinator for all special studies centers, encompassing all formations and non-formation organizations in addition to her work in education. Dr. Modupe is the CEO of I Restore Life Foundation, a registered non-profit, non-governmental organization established in 2015. The foundation is dedicated to reformation, rehabilitation, and reintegration of inmates, reflecting her commitment to social justice and community development. Let's put our hands together for Dr. Modupe. You're not clapping, no, please. You can just stay in the second seat. All right. Next on my list, I have Mr. Joseph O. Aja. Is he around? Mr. Joseph, where's he? Okay. Is he around? Is he online? Can I see his hand? Oh, we're sitting here. All right, so let's hope he comes back before we start. I'll go to the next person. We have Mr. Odusonya Olajide Abayomi. Mr. Odusonya Olajide Abayomi has been a dedicated legal professional since joining the Ministry of Justice in November 2001. Throughout his career, he has served in various capacities, including at the Directorate of Public Prosecutions and Citizen Mediation Center. Currently, he is the Deputy Director for the Office of the Public Defender, where he is committed to ensuring equitable access to legal representation and justice for all. In his role, Mr. Abayomi has been instrumental in defending the rights of individuals who need it most. He also serves as the chairman of the campaign committee for the Office of the Public Defender and heads the Criminal Defense Unit at the High Court. His dedication to advocacy is further demonstrated by his active participation in numerous seminars, conferences, and workshops. With a passion for upholding integrity, fairness, and compassion, Mr. Abayomi strives to make a meaningful impact in both legal profession and society. He brings a wealth of experience and a steadfast commitment to every case he handles. Please let's put our hands together for Mr. Odusonya Abayomi. You know, I told you they are big, big people, so better clap. Oh. Thank you very much. Please, you can have your seats. Please, here. Okay, so I'm going to be calling on Mr. Rotimi Oladokun. Is he around? All right, thank you. I was expecting to see your uniform. Because what I have here is a picture of you in your uniform. All right, so Mr. Rotimi Oladokun is the Public Relations Officer at the Lagos Nigerian Correctional Office. service rather. He is an attorney of law with extensive expertise in legal field. He's an accredited mediator with Lagos Multi-Door Court and a member of the Nigerian Institute of Chartered Arbitrators. Additionally, he's a certified restorative justice practitioner, emphasizing the importance of repairing harm and reintegrating offenders. With over a decade of experience in penal management and administration with Nigerian Correctional Service, Rotimi has a deep understanding of the correctional system. He serves on the Lagos State Parole Board and Lagos State Justice Sector Reforms Committee, where he contributes to policy development aimed at improving the justice system and promoting rehabilitation and reintegration for justice-impacted individuals. His commitment to justice reform and comprehensive background make him a key figure in advancing equitable and effective penal policies. Let's put our hands together for Mr. Rotimi Oladokun. All right, so is Mr. Joseph here already? Okay. Just a second. Is he on a call? All right. Okay, let me test if you are still with me. Sir. Oh. My people have slept. Wake up. Tell your neighbor, wake up, wake up. Tell the person sitting by your side, wake up, wake up. All right. So, sir. All right. So, we have all been waiting for you, sir. Mr. Joseph. Please just put our hands together for him while I read his bio. All right, so Mr. Joseph graduated from Ebonyi State University in 2011 and attended the Nigerian Law School, where he was called to bar in 2013. He completed his NYC in Edo State and began his legal career at OA, Omonua, SAN, and Co. He earned his Masters of Law, LLM, from the University of Benin in 2016, where he also served as a private legal assistant to a justice of the Court of Appeal. Joseph gained valuable experience working at Abib Oredola and Associates, and later joined Ken Ahia and Associates, rising to the head of chambers in 2022. He became part of Messrs. Anaje Olumide Oke, Akinkugbe, A02 Law, AO2 Law, thank you, leading their corporate and criminal litigation practice. Joseph is also a lecturer at the Nigerian Law School and a legal associate at the Human Rights Foundation, HRF, where he provides free legal services focusing on human rights and domestic violence cases. His work has contributed to the release of several inmates in Lagos and Ondo states, reflecting his dedication to justice and legal education. Please let's put our hands together for him again. And there is me, Chineye Adeleye, the moderator of this panel session. Put your hands together for me. You're not clapping well, though. Okay, let me see if I can. All right. So, I'm so sorry. Okay. Okay, let me just stay here. I was thinking of staying in between you all, but yeah, maybe for better optics. Is it better I stay in between them for better? I'm okay here. All right, cool. Thank you very much. Okay, so I'm going to be doing the ladies first thing again, and I'm going to be and I'm going to be starting from Dr. Modukpe. So, like I said earlier, I never knew this kind of initiative existed. I didn't even know that there was anything like education. That's me. Maybe I've not just looked at that side, but right now, I'm aware. I know there are so many people here as well. Maybe before this event, they are not as well. They are not aware of this kind of initiative that's being run in the prison, right? Can you just do like a run-through for us? How does it work? How does the education work in the prison with now? So, knowing that people that are in prison, they don't get to go out. So is there like a school in there? Is there like just run us through? Let's just build that foundation. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everybody. I've been introduced. My name is Mutukpe Adeshino, and I want to use this opportunity to thank Fumi and Selsa for bringing me here. I'm happy to be here. And thank you, our electrifying anchor or moderator. It's really, really good to hear your voice. Okay, so in 2007, National Open University got into Kirikiri. And at that time, there was no serious schooling, because what we need at that kind of place is an e-learning center to do this. I was hearing our learned colleague saying that Open University monopolized correctional center. There should be no such statement. What statement you should make for Open University is gratitude. Open University is the only university that has gone beyond the walls to reach you. Open University is the only university that you can gain admission into without writing JAMB. Open University is an open, distant learning that can be experienced as a system anywhere. I went to University of Ibadan. I've been to quite a number of schools, and I don't see how UI is going to work in Nigerian Correctional Center, UI especially. So it's not monopoly. Open University made itself available. That is what it is. Yes. So for that to happen, for you to go to another university, it will mean that that university is also offering ODL, Open Distant Learning. And to answer the second question, that you have limited courses to do. I also went to College of Medicine, University of Ibadan. I don't see a way where you will bring certain courses like medicine and surgery, dentistry, physiotherapy to correctional service. It's almost impossible. I've worked with several Controller General, and I've had to be a desk officer where I sat to conduct exam, and they let out a bomb. It jumped me out of that place with my system to another side of the building. So if you bring chemistry, for example, to study in Nigerian prison, you have only showed them to make another bomb. So just in case you don't know, these are the limitations. There are certain courses I have personally fought to ensure they come to correctional service. None of you have graduated without passing through my table. You may not know me, but I've had your names from the beginning of the day you enrolled in Open University. So this is why. So this is how it works. In 2007, like I said, you will have to get that admission outside. Then to write exam is war, because there's no e-learning center. So in 2010, we really now started the university with Barrister Ladan Babakodo as the director at that time. So Kirikiri started, and we had people like Mr. Sunday Agbola, which everybody should also clap for again and again. That is the #1 person you should call when it comes to National Open University, especially in Lagos State. The way you will mention my name in Nigeria, you should mention Agbola in Lagos State, nobody else. So when that started, they had something that looked like e-learning center, because in National Open University, for the first 2 years, your exams are e-exams, and you need to do it through the computer. And from 300 level, you have what we call pen on paper exams, where you don't need e-learning center again. So that is how it works. And then by 2017, let me jump from 15. From 15, we started having, from 13, we started having 50% scholarship, where the university will let go of 50%, but be paid by some other people. And then the other 50%, you bring it in, whether your parents or non-governmental organizations, religious bodies, we have all of them registered. Yes. So by 2017 or thereabouts, or 15, we started having 100% given to you by Professor Abdallah. And that 100%, we went as far as Spain, Zenith Bank, Fidelity, to seek for sponsorship. So it's not monopoly, I repeat. We have been to different doors. In fact, in 2013, I got 31 scholarship and started Kuje Correctional Center. That is to tell you how these things now started building. We started Enugu just before then, Port Harcourt, but Lagos was the first. Okay, so it works by us ensuring that who is going to give us an e-learning center. So like iRestore and some other partners gave Kuje, which is still the best e-learning center in Nigeria till today. And then like that. So for you to start Open University in Nigerian Correctional Service, you have to have e-learning center. Then you have to have 5 credits because National Open University courses are accredited by NUC. So you have English, you have Maths, and 3 other credits depending on the courses. And over time, more courses have come in, unlike before, where they had limited ones. So now there are so many courses. So after that e-learning center, and then you have your result, then we offer you admission, you gain admission. That admission comes to my table. I initiate the 100% for the inmate after I must have passed through some other, administrative things, but that is how it works.
All right. Thank you very much, Ma. Please let's put our hands together for her. Thank you very much. So if I hear you well, it seems it's like now is like the funnel. There are other government, or either non-governmental or government bodies that are supporting now. So it doesn't look like now is just the monopoly. It's the only one, handling all of this. They have other backing of different companies, different organizations, maybe different schools, pushing the narrative. But it just feels like now is in the forefront of all of it. Please let's put our hands together again for now. Thank you very much. Okay, so sir, I'm going to be coming to you, right? I was doing a research yesterday stroke today, and I was able to get this term recidivism because I have heard or I've seen movies whereby people have gotten into prisons, they were discharged, they went home, and they got back again because they did a crime again. So I wanted to ask, do you think, because when I did the research, I saw that in Nigeria, the rate is now at 52.4%. compared to where it was in 2005, it was in 37.3%, right? So can we say that with the influx of education now in our prison systems, do you think there will be a change? Do you think that there is actually a change whereby the people in prison, the incarcerated people are, getting education? When they get out, they now have a meaning, they have a reason to leave. Do you think it's something that is going to help the system so that these people are not going back to the prison?
Thank you so much, madam. My name is Oduson Yaolajide Abayomi, as you rightly introduced me. You see, for offenders doing the same thing after a release, going back into the system, a lot of factors, account for that. And one of it is lack of education. Somebody that is well educated, like my learning friends that were here earlier, you see, we all heard what they said. They said they now have hope. They can now live a better life because of the education they got when they were in prisons. They now feel that all hope are not lost. They still feel that they are human beings. They can still do better. Another factor that can cause this is, the issue of stigmatization in our society. He's a prisoner. What do you want to do with him? That can be. Then, lack of proper information. Not all the people that are in prison that actually committed that offense. Some, due to circumstances beyond their control, they were just unfortunate to be around and they were arrested. But in Nigeria nowadays, nobody wants to hear that. Any employer that you have a record in a criminal record, no. We need to change our reorientation. But in a nutshell, I believe that where there's proper education, yes, they are with it will reduce the stigma of going in and coming out and going back. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Mr. Rotimi, I'll be coming to you. I loved everything that Dr. Modukwe said earlier. But I just want to think, in the advent of technology, right? There are a lot of courses, aside from the normal school courses. There are like product management, there's data analysis, and all of these things have to do with computer and all of that. So I wanted to ask, how do you collaborate with external organizations to provide educational resources and support to justice-impacted individuals? Are there rules? Are there procedures to follow? Or can we just show up in the prison and say, oh, we are here to train them? Open the door, let us enter. So just tell us, what's the procedure? What's the step-by-step procedure, since you're in the system?
Yeah, thank you very much. Good afternoon. I think with respect to education, I just wanted to point out that education within the custodial centers are two major parts. You have the formal and the informal. You have vocational training. Also, we have the ICT training, apart from the general academic training. Yeah, so the partnership with the National Open University has been a long and fruitful one. It's not, when our learned friends were answering some of those questions, it's their own understanding. That was their own perspective. But we have a lot of stakeholders, NGOs, even individuals that interact and partner with the Nigerian Correctional Service to deliver these educational platforms to, I want to call them students in custody, not generally inmate. So, and the controller trying to give fruition to the directive of the Controller General makes it easy. 2 weeks ago, I had someone that came to the office and wrote and said, I have the flair, I'm into photography and media, and he wants to impact the student inside. And I gave him, it's a quite easy administrative process. Write an application, provide your necessary documents so the correctional service knows the entity they are dealing with. And if he checks through and we verify him, approval is given. A certain number of inmates are given. Let's see your curriculum. That's informal. And so the platform is available. And I want to say, I put at it, better is better than good, but best is better. So if you look at the history and the trajectory of the relationship with the Nigerian Correctional Service and the Open University, no state has more than 2 centers, but Lagos has 2. And there's still pressure because we have 5 custodial centers in Lagos to improve and increase that capacity. So we are making progress. And we also have inmates that are also doing various vocational skills. And the good thing about the partnership with the National Open University is not limited to just academic skills training. Ikoyi now, which is the second study center in Lagos, also by partnership with the Open University, they give degree, even diploma for vocational training. So you see, we're handling it. It's just like outside. If you are outside in a conventional university, you can be in, let's say, 300 level, your GPA is in 100 level. It's if you are committed to what you want to do. It's the same thing we tell our students inside. Take this option, take this option. Yes, we know the peculiarities of the legal system. But the issue is that what do you do with it? If life gives you a lemon, what do you do with it? Or gives you an orange, what do you do with it? That's the issue. So I would say the Nigerian Correctional Service is open to partner with everybody. It's not only, I was talking with one of my colleagues behind there. I said, we've pitched these things to other conventional universities, University of Lagos or this, but every university has its peculiar system. Even in Nigeria, we only have presently 2 open universities, 2 that offer distance learning. The one was just, Milvans was just approved. So it's like saying, I want noodles. What comes to everybody? Indomie. So that is it. But that's to show you the versatility and staying power of the National Open University. So it's what's, in a nutshell, the service is open to partner with everybody. I gave you an example of one person that came that I want to do this. We've had people that had said they want to teach inmate building or masonry. So I'm just saying, not only vocational, so even ICT, networking. So the field is large and the harvest is large. So I want to appeal to people to join and partner with the Nigerian Correctional Service. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So let's just put our hands together for him. So we've heard. So if you have any initiative, if you have anything that you think that can, impact the life of these people, please walk up to them. You can speak to him after the program. You can get his number. Okay, you want to say something, right? All right, please pass out the mic.
Okay, so just in addition to what he said, we also have what we want to achieve in many other places, and which we're already looking at at Ikoyi. There's another informal aspect that Open University is bringing in, where we will bring all of these people together, photography, building, and put it into a curriculum, and then we'll now give you a certificate from Open University that you have earned a diploma in this. This country is a country of certificates. You can walk into certain places and say, I know how to do photography, and then what is the proof? But if it is coming from a national Open University that is from the government school, how do you think
they would respond to
yes. Thank you.
All right, let's put our hands together again, once again for now. Thank you so much, Ma. All right, I want to do a vibe check. Celsar? That's amazing. Put your hands together for yourselves. Yes, well done. All right, so I'll be going to Mr. Joseph. Right. When our learned colleagues were speaking, I could hear from their voice. I didn't just listen to what they were saying. I could hear from their voice that most of them were very confident. I heard when one was, I can't remember the person, but he said that after the old training, he got a job, and now he's sitting with people that has timber and caliber. And I was like, that's so, that's so amazing, So I could sense that there's something that's been done to their self-esteem. They're proud of themselves. They've been able to do amazing stuff for themselves. So I just wanted to ask, right? In your opinion, right, how can education empower these people, to advocate for their rights and for their rights, and also challenge the systemic injustice? So I know that a lot of them they're out of the system, and some people, there's this stereotype, some people will be segregating them and all of that. So how can they, advocate for themselves? How can they speak up for themselves? How can we speak to them so that they can have this at the back of their mind that, see, this has happened to me, but I'm not that person again. I'm better. I've moved forward. So how can we work together to achieve this for them?
Okay, thank you very much. Let me first of all apologize for coming in late. I have some emergencies related to what we are doing that I had to just...
No, we understand you're a human rights activist.
Thank you very much. All right, so talking about how education can be used to better or help them foster their right after the time, so to say. We have to look at, we are talking about education. Question have we asked ourselves, what type of education? And at the beginning of the seminar, I heard more about the formal education system. Maybe why we are here, I have the privilege of hearing some informal education system. So I would like us to be a bit open and look at things from a broader perspective. How many of those inmates has formal education before going? So it is when you have the number of people that has a background before you say you can build on them. And another part is to look at the age bracket. Should we ask someone that is 50-something years, 60-something years to enroll for university studies? And when he's out, he start looking for a job. Whereas some of us that are even educated and outside have so much experience, will find it difficult to get a job. So now talking about someone that's coming from incarceration and tell them, oh, I have this certificate, I want to, we cannot rule out the place of bias. And that's to add to the challenges already existing. So I would have preferred if the type of education that have to be offered to the inmate are sort of like categorized. So we look at those that are interested in a policy, like a policy, and I'm speaking to the prison officials now, not just a random one person, like a well laid out policy or working instrument wherein they said, okay, as they are coming, are receiving inmates, they are what will I say? They are profiling them. Know that, okay, this one has this, this is his interest. This one has this is his interest. Now look at their strength and what they are interested in. You understand? Once you are able to do that, you know those that fit the formal education system and those that have to go with the vocational training. And for those, particularly for let's say the adults, aged adults that are in this system, some of them may not have the privilege of like getting a basic education in the first place. They cannot even read. So are there programs to assist those people to be able to even, if all they could achieve in the prison system is the ability to read? We are talking about the adult education. Computer training. Yes, I don't know whether we can differentiate between computer training and ICT training. A computer training basically know how computer operate, but ICT, how to take advantage of the technology. Do we really have the facility at the prison centers to impart this? So that's one. That's one. Now coming to how it will help them when they come into society. It is when I have money or I am gainfully engaged to earn money before I can say most times, oh, I want to enforce this right, I want to do that, because your first challenge is, oh, I need to find my feet. So then we now come to what kind of knowledge do I have to actually assert my right? So I will advocate that at the level of the presence, if when we are giving them the educations, let's know their capacity and let's provide a program that suits each individual. Then we'll now talk of the basic things that we can all teach all of them. What are your constitutional rights? How do you behave so that as not to come here again? Because we've seen individuals are presently handling a case of someone, he was released on a day, that same day. That same, he spent 6 years. That same day, he was arrested. And he has been for another 3 years.
Thank you very much. I thought Mr. Rotimi wants to quickly
Please,
respond
just
to
by
that.
way of clarification.
Our time is already fast spent.
By way of clarification, the Nigerian Correctional Service is part of our policy to profile each inmate on admission. So that's why we take some of their family background, their biodata, their interest. So that's why I alluded to my earlier remark was that some are skilled in informal, and opportunity on a platform is made available. Carpentry, barbing, laundry services, a lot. Even that's why I said we've gone beyond that. Some we have skilled, there's an initiative too, we have theater practitioners amongst inmates. They train them in theater art. So that platform exists. Even as last month, during our normal supervision, there was an inmate in maximum custodial center. I think it's on life. He made a testimony that when he came into the custodial center, I think it was 46 or something thereabout. Fine, the same feeling dejected and everything, never wanted to improve himself. But with time, because I met him in the classroom, was happy that when he came here, he couldn't read and write. He's in his early 50s now. He's still in primary school, adult education. So I was grateful. Those are our marks. Those are our victories, step by step. So for those that want primary or adult education, the platform is available presently. But those that want secondary school, it is. That's why they do the GC. I have people that sponsor. For those that want to go to National Open University, doctorate, I'm not just talking of first degree or master's, doctorate. We have students that are doing their doctorate program. It's available. So it's not, maybe depending on our level of interaction with other entities, those platforms are available. they are available. But the issue is, as one of the learned gentlemen alluded to, if you are not willing to get up and be passionate about it, even those outside need drives to go through their
Very
studies.
true.
So if you are inside, those are, why is everybody, the world famous Mr. Agbola, why is everybody giving him kudos? Because he took out time to say, take this, do this. If you are not willing, that's where the issue is. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. So I'm going to ask my last question because I know our time is fast spent. So I just want to know, because at the end of the day, the main goal for getting out education, aside from what it does to your psychic, is to also get out and get a job, you know, to at least get money to feed yourself, even if it's just yourself or your family, you know, as the case may be. So I wanted to ask, anybody can answer this. Are there policies, I think you would also be a very good person to ask, since you're, are there policies that, you know, that speaks to jobs for ex-inmates, you know, where, because I know a lot of people will segregate, a lot of people would, you know, stereotype and say, oh, you have done it, you have done your time in the prison, now you can't work here, sorry. We don't believe that you can work here. You know, and some places that they will just want to segregate them because of what they've been through. So I just want to ask, are there policies? And if someone is found wanting, what happens to that person? Maybe someone does that, like a company, you know, is denying people of getting jobs. What happens, you know, to them? Are there penalties and all of that? Let's just know. All right.
Okay, thank you for this opportunity again. First, I'd like you to know that what National Open University is doing is beyond education. For the fact that in 2020, 5th of March, I was secretary to a council that involved Nigerian Correctional Service and National Open University. I actually made that happen by ensuring I brought the VC to Nigerian Correctional Service Office. And then we had Mr. Jafar, that was the CG at that time. So I just wanted a fusion and then for us to have something more than we gave. And I proposed, or from my office, we proposed that when inmates leave upon release from incarceration, they should be able to continue education. And it was on that day that it was approved, and it was on that day that they made that happen. So, firstly, one of the things that we did to militate against recidivism is the fact that upon release, you can continue education for free. Open University is free. There is no money that is required for anything. In fact, it beats me so much when certain desk officers take advantage of the so much sacrifice some of us have done. I know how much fight, how many meetings with the Senate to ensure that from application form to everything is free. Where we had limitation only is cost materials, which also is something that they also have as challenge as students that are not even incarcerated. And we also went as far as maybe from the NGO where I have to print their books and give it to them in the north, not in Lagos State. Okay, so one of the things we did to militate against recidivism is continuous education free upon release. Secondly, personally also, I've gone to the National Assembly, and I don't actually want to say this, but I also want to say it so that whoever is praying can still pray for us so that this hope will come to limelight. We met, and we wanted a quota of jobs for the 6 geopolitical zones for people that have been released that can have outright and automatic jobs. We're on it. So let's say from a geopolitical zone and some like 50 inmates have been released, and then let's say from these 6 now we have 300. If the percentage of jobs they will give us will be 1% from each geopolitical zone, and then 1% of this one takes like 10 people, that means we'll have 60 inmates that have been released that will get jobs. So we're working assiduously, and it's in the pipeline. And as much as possible, we also want them to pass a bill that militates against stigmatization the same way they did with HIV. So we're working every day. both whether I open university, I restore, or whatever I represent, my passion for this work has been since 2003. So that's what is in pipeline.
All right, thank you so much. Do you have anything to say, Mr. Joseph?
Okay, let me quickly just add that we all are aware that the Constitution is the ground norm of all the laws in the country, and there is a constitutional provisions that already lay a foundation to this. So if you check the provision of Section 42 of the Constitution, we speak about discrimination. So the basis of saying you are rejecting an ex-inmate a job opportunity because of the criminal record is discriminatory. It's unconstitutional. So question is now what happens? So those rights are individual rights. So the individuals who feel that they are being discriminated against could take up an action in that regard. And that is what HRF, we open our door, Human Rights Foundation, for that. So, but there needs to be a policy from the government that will serve as something like a penal punishment, okay? So, which will penalize, or perhaps maybe just penalize, or a fine on the company who commits this so-called offense, if it's created as an offense, who rejects or discriminates against an inmate. In the absence of that, we may just leave it at the individual level. But the problem with the individual level is these organizations, when rejecting the inmate, more often than not, they will not tell you, we are rejecting you because we are an ex-inmate. But that means you have nothing or nothing to base your course of action. They will just outrightly reject you. But perhaps you will now see that they have employed someone with less experience, less qualification over you. So at the end of the day, we need like a holistic government policy to arrest this situation.
All right, thank you very much. You want to say something?
Okay, well,
sorry, before you go ahead, if you have questions, please write them down on a sheet of paper. You can just pass it to, okay, you can pass it to Winnie. He's waving his hands. So just write it, so we can just take one or two questions. Thank you very much.
In respect to what your question, by virtue of the new Nigerian Correctional Service Act, the Nigerian Correctional Service issued a fit and proper certificate to discharging inmate. This is a form of referral to prevent stigmatization.
Like a certificate.
Certificate that this person is a fit and proper. And you know, even while incarcerated, there are certain privileges that they might enjoy based on industry and good conduct. So there is a process to make sure that they are well catered for and taken care of. With regard to discrimination, fine, we are not unmindful of the happening of society, but as my colleague said, a person can bring out action if he feels that he's being discriminated against. I think it's time we challenge and expand those boundaries. You make laws not only by what the National Assembly says, you also have precedent and judgment. So if someone feels that I'm being discriminated against by virtue, if you meet the qualification, an advert is posted, if you meet the qualifications and you feel, you take up, if we don't challenge our jurisdiction, we will never develop. I think last week we were celebrating the Nobel laureate, his 90th birthday. For a time in history, in the 60s, he was also incarcerated and was convicted. Did he have that, suffer those discriminations?
We are celebrating Nelson Mandela. He was also incarcerated.
So the issue is, what I would want to urge everybody is that if you feel, contribute your own quota by expanding our laws. We may not, yes, government policy is good and everything, but sometimes, if we don't challenge and expand those boundaries, we'll just be waiting. Everybody's talking about the pronouncement of the Supreme Court, right, in respect to local government. So if we have one that someone challenges, I feel like I meet the requirements that was published, the criteria to have this job, and I feel that I'm being discriminated by virtue of my status as being an ex-offender. Challenge it. It will contribute to the jurisdiction and jurisprudence of this country. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, so Someone is asking a question to the now rep, and this is a very, very important question. The person is asking, what are your plans to socially include physically challenged persons in prison to enroll for courses? Are there any special consideration for physically challenged people?
Okay, so in National Open University, we have a Directorate of Learner Support Service. That's where my own directorate is. And one of the units in the the Directorate of Learner Support Service, there is a unit called Unit for Special Needs. Yes. So once that person, the people that are physically impaired, so once that person gets admission, we get the attention of National Open University. Is in the form you will fill. We'll put it in that place. If it is physical, or a site, we have how your exams are conducted. If it is paralysis, we have how the exams are conducted. So we have accommodated this set of people in our school, in the special needs unit.
Thank you very much. So, sir, please, I just want to ask you one question before I take this final question. Are there, okay, before you want to say something,
I just want
please.
to add something to the last discussion about people being discriminated upon because they just left the prisons. Like we have a slogan, Celsa, everybody deserves a second chance. Where your certificate cannot take you to, your conduct will take you there. And not the old person you know. I've done a new leaf. You need to exhibit it conduct-wise. So that the people will know that, oh, truly this man has changed. You can't just come and be saying, like Mr. Rotimi said, they said, even when they are in prison, the officers, they take note of their conduct.
Yes, yes.
So these are very important.
Okay, so before you drop the mic, like, I just want to know, are there collaboration going on with, like now, and other educational institutions to help justice impacted individuals? Are there any collaboration between the Ministry of Justice and educational institutions?
To help
to help like people in prison and people that just got out.
Okay. What I can say is OPD as an agency, we have...
Sorry, what's OPD?
Office of Public Defender.
Okay.
We have our partners in progress.
Okay.
Some are governmental agencies, private institutions, public institutions, that we partner with, even religious body that we partner with in, accessing justice to the inmates, including this education we are talking about.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, sir. Final question, Mr. Arotimi. Someone is asking, how are the justice impacted persons who learn to acquire certain skills funded to start up a business upon release? You spoke about the informal education, but not just education, people are learning maybe photography, shoemaking, and the rest. So are they funded? Are they given money to start up a business when they leave? Are there processes for that?
Well, the Nigerian Correctional Service has a unit called Aftercare Unit. And annually, an inmate that's been trained, basically emphasis is on vocational training, that has been trained and has been released. The Nigerian Correctional Service provides starter packs. It's handed over by the Controller General to this deserving inmate. It's a form of encouragement. And we also have officers from the aftercare unit that take out time post-release to visit and encourage them to make sure that whatever they've learned and whatever training they've acquired, they deliver on it. And as I want to allude and appreciate now too, because fine, before then, we have trade test certification that is given. But with the backing of now that is giving them a diploma now, is removing the IN in informal to make it formal. So those things are being provided. Apart from the starter kits provided by the National Headquarters, we also have individuals and NGOs and non-governmental bodies and religious bodies that also make provision with placement or training. CELSA is an example. Other stakeholders too that mentor inmates where they are still incarcerated and upon release provide those opportunities for them. So it's not just not the Nigerian Correctional Service, but in partnership with other stakeholders and NGOs. And I want to also reiterate, because there's inadequacy, the budget is never enough. So it's those NGOs and stakeholders that provide that that covering, that gap. So I want to encourage people to that present. Don't ask what can you do. I don't want to give a cliche like what JFK say. Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. But what I ask and I want to appeal to everybody is that think of one thing you can do. Somebody, you might be an ex-inmate, you can be something. Everybody has issues. But just think I want to sow and enlighten someone and help someone, just one person. Someone came, he wants to do birthday, he said, let me pay GCE fees. Someone came back, let me just support whatever materials. Now it's free, but someone said, if it's to make photocopies for your course outline and material. So what I want to just precaution is that maybe you are looking for what you want to do for your next birthday, your next anniversary, Christmas, whatever. Just speak of that. The nearest custodial center closest to you. Take out one weekend. There's no officer in charge that will turn you out if you say, this is what you want to do. If you want to say, I know how to teach chemistry. I just want to volunteer 1 hour, 1 week. Opportunity will be made for you. So I know finance is crucial, but I don't want us to start that, what do I have? Me too, I'm outside, I have not had. Fine, we know the reality of our situation, but I want to urge and appeal that let's take a step. If we all light our own individual candle, we'll bring in a good illumination to the system. Thank you.
Let's put our hands together for all our panelists. So from everything I've been able to hear right now, this space, we need a lot of support. And you don't even need to go far. CELSA is here. Dr. Modukwe has an NGO. There are a lot of NGOs that you can partner with. You don't have to wait till you have 1 million naira. You can even start with 10K. I'm sure 10K can do a lot of photocopies, right? Even 5K, even 2K, 1K, you can do a lot of photocopies for the instructional materials and everything they need. So, like I said earlier, we don't just want to do talk. There are a lot of conversation going on, but we need to see action. Personally, as I'm here, I'm thinking of what can I do? I'm going back to my company to ask them, how can we partner? How can we work? You know? Oh, yeah. You know, so there are a lot of things that can be done. So don't wait till you have it all. Find a way to support, find a way to lend a helping hand. Thank you very much for having us. Please let's put our hands together for our panelists once again. I said they are big people. Clap for them, please. Thank you. Okay, we need to take a picture. CELSA.
Thank you for that session. It was a very powerful session, and we've gotten to have changed perspective. Let's put our hands together for Bukola. She comes to give us the highlights. Everything we've gone through today.
recommendation of where we recommendation of provide materials for these formerly incarcerated individuals. There is need to provide materials for formerly incarcerated individuals. To take these opportunities to formerly incarcerated individuals. So if you need to support formerly incarcerated individuals, we can also through CELSA, our correctional facilities are also here where we're because one of the recommendations was provide materials for formerly um, one of our stakeholders or one of our panelists also mentioned a well documented policy that guide formal education and informal education for formerly incarcerated individuals. So there is need for a policy that shows that okay, this is the category of formal education that is needed for incarcerated individuals and formal education that is needed and informal education that is needed for incarcerated individuals and formal education that is also needed for incarcerated individuals and engaging other universities. I remember university to engage in this same operation which now is operating. There's need for them to also engage in the distance learning program opportunity. So I don't know. This is a recommendation that has been thrown to our stakeholders that are in the house at the moment. We have university from Yaba, Polytechnic, we have university from Kenya, from Lagos State. So this might be an opportunity we can look into to assist incarcerated individuals so that they can also have the right that they deserve.
Uh, we are close to the very end, 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 the very end. All right, not just one person, not just a separate group of people, not just a certain tribe, but everyone deserves a second chance. All right, thank you very much. Like every of the panelists and every of our briefing and all of what we've done today, even down to the theme of education, like I read through the concept notes that majority of why we have a lot of prison cases is because of education sometimes. And education, like Nelson Mandela said, and we've always reiterated that it's the powerful tool to change the world. So let's please celebrate CELSA once again. They've done a wonderful job. They've done a wonderful job. If there's one thing I found very common in the learned colleagues' statements that they gave in their panel session is that CELSA was very instrumental to their education. And if there's one thing they raised as an issue for the need is actually materials, the source for resources. And I like the fact I heard my mother whispering to the host, Chineye, when she said, "Oh, I'll go and think about it and, my company." And she whispered e-learning. And it's very, very crucial because e-learning is actually the advent of technology. We need, with technology, we don't need to bring the old school down to the correctional center. Technology can give them a lot of access. So further supervision, I heard one of them saying that we are always supervised with modem and all of those key items. Learning can be possible. They can actually have access to these things. So we need to advocate more for learning. Imagine there are actually 100 computers for them to actually learn. It becomes very easy for them to, finish up all their courses and they don't have to be so bothered. I really want to even know how their reading condition is because reading condition is one of the factors to actually success in academics. So these are the concerns we need to raise: the resources, the access to digital content, digital equipment. So thank you once again. I want to recognize quickly the representative of the Lagos Comptroller, Mr. Friedman. So he's ably represented by Insikan Blessing. Please, a round of applause for her, please. Thank you for your presence. We are honored. Thank you for representing Lagos. And every other officers in the house, please. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Right away, we are close to the end. The last item we have before the closing remarks and photographs is our fireside chat. Our fireside chat. So this is just for we to, if you check the back of the chairs, you can see a link where they say you should send your questions to. It's also on the curtains, and you can see scan here to send your questions. So once you scan, a link will pop out for you to send your questions, just in case you are shy. I mean, but I believe we are all learning colleagues. So if you have questions, I mean, I had one of my brothers raising to me that we are not fully addressing the old areas, and he raised the concern of the police aspect. I mean, we've been talking about our learning colleagues, their stories, the challenges and the circumstances, but how about the police? How about the police, the system that arrests people? So I want, he raised that concern to me, and I felt like it's an important aspect. But so from all we've done, I mean, we've had a lot of sessions that were quite insightful. I want us to raise questions that you have so we can quickly address them. Thank you, please. Thank you. If you have questions from the panel, for this whole idea of the Global Freedom Scholars Network. Okay. If there are no questions, let's be patient. Let's be patient. We want to welcome Oshun Valentine. Is a representative of the Global Freedom Scholars for his closing remarks and next steps. You have a question? Very quickly, please. Very quickly. Mr. Oshun, please, just a second. Okay, you're the one. You had a question. Okay, yeah. Please, please. Go.
Good afternoon. My names are Monday Edeye. My question is, throughout my stay in Ikoyi Correctional Center, I was opportune to have my GCE, and I enrolled twice, but I was denied my admission. So I don't know why. But the last time I enrolled, not quite long, I gained my freedom. And I went back to see our principal. How has it gone? So sometimes it has been my pain. Because when I see my colleagues, they are doing well, why is it only me being left out? And I stayed there 10 years. So I was like, if I can gain this golden opportunity, it will still help my career. So that is my question. Thank you.
Okay. Sir, do you want to, okay, Ma, you want to answer? Thank you.
He's the only one that can still answer. You need to come. He needs to come and let me ask him. Do you have English credit? Maths credit? Okay. For sales, sir, just submit it here. Let me see what I can do.
So that's why you need to speak. When you speak, you have solutions. Please, Ma.
Good afternoon, all. My name is Dr. Mrs. C.K. Jiaku. I'm representing my provost, St. Augustine College of Education, Akoka, Lagos. Mine is actually contribution and somehow some questions too. I want to address some issues. Actually, I've not been in any correction center before, but the emphasis here that everybody, even the panelists and other people are laying is on education. Education, education, education. I want to emphasize that counseling is also of paramount importance to those inmates, because education cannot give them all. We know that some people who are actually educated, some of them have low self-concept. Some of them have low self-esteem. Some of them cannot even integrate in the university, so in the society. So they need therapy in various ways. They need physical therapy. They need to really be encouraged. They need speech therapy, language therapy, because the language in the correction center is different. So before you integrate them, they need, a speech therapist that will actually go into therapy with them. They need cognitive or behavioral therapy. Counselors or counseling psychologists are actually needed. Plenty of them to talk to them. They need music therapy because music is a healing. It heals a lot of wound. That aside, I want to also let Dr. Modukwe to be aware that there is no harm in continual trying from UI, because UI also run the ODL and the Distance Learning Center from UI. It actually depends on the director of the DLC in UI or the Vice Chancellor. So please, you are doing a very wonderful job. Continue pressing hard. I know one day you will succeed, so that it will not be only the DLC or Open University alone. Then the lawyer that also talk about the age limit. Can you teach an 50-old man, can he come to school or something? Myself, I have taught a woman of 65-year-old in my school, 65 years. And in the last convocation of the University of Lagos, we all heard about is it 70 or 80-old man that convoked, and banged his PhD. So nothing is impossible, actually. As once you are a student, you are always a student. I think it's the mindset. I think it's the encouragement. Because when you are a student and you are behaving like a 20-year-old child, no matter your age, when they are running for lectures, for seat or this or that, you are running along with them. And that is also liberating your mind. Then, I don't know whether Dr. Modukwe is aware of the new suggestion from the JAMB Register, Professor Oloyede, who has been proposing that all distance learning centers, or part-time, as the acronym may be, must write JAMB. They must write JAMB before they enter university. Because I don't know whether Open University write JAMB. So I want you to also look into that. Are there going to be exemptions to these inmates? Because I don't know the all time they have to read JAMB. We know what JAMB is all about. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ma. Even though I'm not seeing you physically, but for 65, you have done a very good job. First, thank you for this counseling suggestion. There is this meeting that we have every month, of which I am chairman, and it's called the Stakeholders Meeting. This meeting accommodates all controllers of the states where we have our schools, all in charge where we have of custodial centers where we have our school, all directors that have these correctional centers that is supervised for us, all now desk officers, now coordinators and all correctional desk officers. They meet with me every month, and we have another meeting scheduled for the end of this month. So this is where we are breaking this news that you are giving to us as suggestion that they need counselors. We have been trying to find a way to ensure this happens, and the VC has just approved that for me. And for every custodial center now, we're going to be posting a counselor from National Open University to them. Yes, that's going to happen for this next coming semester. But to kick that off, I have also put a training together, which will take place in the month of August, where we will have the director, the most senior person that is a doctor in guidance and counseling, that would have an online meeting with all our stakeholders, then after that, all our students during their orientation program. So that's already been captured and is in place. But thank you all the same for suggesting. So second thing is about the ODL. And if I'm aware that there are other schools that are now doing ODL, but are they willing to give 100% scholarship to the inmate? Are they willing to ensure that application form is also free? We fought 10 years to get here. I pray that as Nigerian Correctional Service approach them, because we can't be approaching such people since we are doing the same thing. As they approach them, they should also remember to approach them for such scholarship and freedom. ODL is not very easy to run in correctional centers. For example, even to get their O-level results to give them admission is a whole lot. It takes 6 weeks. Another example, what we called non-examinable courses. It took another 9 years to be able to break through the prison. I know the years because I was right in front of it, fighting for it, to have non-examinable courses to be done in the prisons. When they were not done, we had trickles of people graduating. But when we were able to fight step by step to get through, we started having 20. Last year, we have 65 people graduate across the country. And this year, we have 109 in 10 correctional centers. So let me give an example of what we call non-examinable courses. Teaching practice, SciWest, and all of that. It took my experience as a liaison officer with Nigerian Correctional Service to do that. So if ODL will be easy for all these other universities, how do you think they may be able to break through to have non-examinable courses? Because without it, you can't graduate. You will have to write projects. That is also a non-examinable course. So I just wanted to look at the cost of what we are looking at. I'm not saying it's not possible. It is possible. So the cost of putting an ODL in a correctional service is a whole lot. That's why I was telling the learned fellow that the only thing they should say, not that the monopoly, is to thank you and say thank you endlessly. It's a whole lot of sacrifice. Then they said something about age. Of course, I already quite agree with you. Age is not a barrier. And one of the things that Open University offers you is that you can go to school at any age. And finally, concerning Dr. Loyede, it's a proposal. It's not yet factored into our system. For now, you can still run your program without writing JAMB. Thank you very much.
We are out of time, please. We're out of time, sir. We're out of time. Thank you. She will give the controller, sir.
From the Nigerian Correctional Service standpoint, there is no exclusivity with regards provision of educational platform to only the National Open University. We do not debar other institutions from partnering with the Nigerian Correctional Service. When I give an example, I said earlier on that if you talk about noodles, a particular brand comes to everybody's mind, is synonymous with that particular product. So the National Open University has been the first and is still the first, but we do not debar others from wanting to partner. So it's not as if there's any monopoly elsewhere. And as the doctor rightly said, this has been a journey from funding, from scholarship 50% to total 100%. So we already have a platform and a template. We do not debar any other public university or private university from providing that opportunity to inmates in custody. Thank you.
Very much. Thank you for that.
Thank you
you very much, sir. Just to react a little bit to what Mr. Rotimi said. But I would start by saying that with regards to what you said, ma'am, the conversation in this room today is centered around education because of what today stands for. So there are other aspects of our work that we have not even talked about today. We have Halfway House, we've not emphasized on it today. Today's conversation was just primarily on education, the importance of it, the value of it, and all of that. And with regards to monopoly, I think one of the things when we were getting ready for this event, one of the things we discussed that we wish can come up in this room is actually having other institutions coming to, because it's going to be a huge of support for National Open University. And even though we know that there is no monopoly, quote and unquote, for National Open University, we are also very much aware that National Open University did not just storm into the prison to say they want to do a program. The prison has taken some major steps in terms of building partnership. There's a major part of this event that network didn't allow us to achieve, and that was looking at what was happening in other jurisdictions. So for instance, now, I was speaking with some of our network members in Kenya who told me that, fine, they have National Open University, but beyond that, even the University of Nairobi is in partnership with the prison. In South Africa, we're hearing that even the Stellenbosch University is in partnership with the prison. So now, it's not just about the National Open University, but we're saying even the institution, Nigerian Correctional Service institution, might need to take some further step, because that way we are building inclusivity. We are even, bridging that gap between incarcerated persons and the community, the society. By the time you're saying that there are people who have gone through this system, let's even take an example from Nelson Mandela. He had his LLB while he's in prison from the University of London. Justice Defender right now in Kenya gives people access to have degrees from the University of London. Can we start taking that step to say, you know what, let's include other institutions. Let's schedule meetings, meet them, but it starts from the institution. As an organization now, there's really no way we can push education as much as if the Nigerian Correctional Service should stand up and start building those partnerships. By the time that happens, we can have that happening in our correctional centers. We can have people who have been impacted, benefit from the powerful weapon of education. So please, we are so much, we're considering so much. Our participant today is far gone. We know everybody wants to make an input, but you can always engage us. CELSA is here. You can always talk to us when you want to talk. The representative of the Nigerian Correctional Service is here as well. You can also engage them. I'm sure they're always very supportive. Take that from me. So you can always engage them, and they'll be here to help as well. But at this point, please, let us round up. Thank you.
Thank you. So we go just quick to the closing remarks by Mr. Valentine. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I really want to use this great opportunity to appreciate the National Open University, because if you talk about education in correctional facility across the country today, like the PRO said, they are the first. And I want to borrow the word of First Bank, they are truly the first. So on behalf of my comrade, my learned colleague, I want to say, Doctor, thank you very much. And also for the good officers of the correctional service across the country. I've passed through your facility. They have passed through your facility. We hold much for you people. I don't want each time we this kind of programs like this comes up, we know there is an angle they always see us from angle of attack. No. We really appreciate every good officers who have contributed positively. Then, to someone I hold so dearly to my life, Ms. Joke. You see, honestly, I'm not saying this because she's here today. Sometimes I reach out to her at night. I cried. We have struggles. Sometimes I almost give up. Ask her. Sometimes my business is not even working fine. I can't even think. I will cry. I will just, she say, Valentine, okay, just give me few minutes. Maybe she's attending to family. She will call me back and talk to me. And honestly, we have those struggles. Like what our mother point out, we need therapists. Please, we really, really need it. Because sometimes it's as if the whole world is crushing over us. Sometimes we prefer solutions here, we do all those things. But the truth is, when we go out there, it's a different ball game. So, thank you very much, Ma, for my first opportunity of traveling out of Nigeria and having other opportunities to be invited, even in the United States and other part of the world, is through CELSA. You know, the students we have, honestly, people don't really want to come out and talk their story, share their story because of the kind of environment we find ourselves. So the truth is, I spent 21 years behind bar. I don't want to talk what take me there. Don't want to tell you that I committed it or I didn't. That one, divine providence have taken place. And I thank God that the court was able to do justice to what they accused me of. I mean, the higher court. You see, I've spent those years behind bars. And honestly, the churches are trying, you know, sometimes you made Bele now. They try, in fact, preaching and all that. The truth is, a lot of organizations have carried this cross, especially the major challenge is outside. I always ask myself, I've seen a lot of people recidivism, go in, come back, go in, come back. I've seen a lot, some even, maybe after third attempt, they die in prison. I've seen a lot of them. But the truth is this, the outside world is the real challenge. You should ask ourselves, why are these people going back? So, the link, the bridge, is what I see cells are doing. There's this pastor, I've forgotten his name, preaching one Saturday in the 90s. If I remember his name, no, he has been incarcerated before. So he tried to pick up a program whereby people comes out and they give them a stepping stone, steps and all that. But honestly, they failed. So today, I can't really remember any who is really in the forefront trying to balance that step. Because, trust me, if we fail to understand what the effect is going to be, the safety of the society, honestly, the society is going to pay dearly for it. So we should not be like winning the war and losing the fight, the battle. So thank you, everyone who has made this burden very easy for us, the students, the comrades. Thank the international bodies, the INN, Dr. Baz, my comrade in South African, Kofi, Kathleen, MT, everyone. I appreciate the CELSA team. They are amazing people. You see that